Jamie back again with another video, and this video is probably to all the boys and girls out there, all the men and women out there who ride a personal mobility device. And essentially what a personal mobility device is any like e-scooters, any three-wheel electrical vehicles that people use to commute. So yes, it's a very general term, and it's the term that we use in Singapore, or what the government refers to as a personal mobility device. And I will be using that same term, which is called PMDs or PMD users, right? And in this case, I am a PMD user. So let's get right into it, okay? Now, I started riding electric bikes or electrical go-pads about 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. And many things have changed, namely government regulations, and of course we have a huge increase in the number of PMD users. So again, 6 years ago, there was no such mobility act. We call it the Active Mobility Act, and that Active Mobility Act is now in place. It has not been gazetted yet, I believe, but it will be made official, I think, sometime this year, 2017, and this is all within the context of Singapore, okay? So again, 6 years ago when I started, I was riding like electric bikes, electrical go-pads, and I'm crazy about such things, right? Although I've been driving for more than 17, 18 years. But I appreciate such vehicles. I think it's awesome. So when I do ride PMDs in general, common sense really is the general rule of thumb when riding such vehicles. And I live by 4 rules, okay? Number 1, ride within speed limits. Don't go crazy on a footpath, don't go crazy on a road, because really you are really just on an electric vehicle of sorts, alright? And number 2, ride safely and be very aware of your surroundings. And when I say aware of your surroundings, I actually mean, like, for example, eyes always ahead on the road, left, right, observe, always observe. There could be a car coming on, driving straight at you. You could be, knocking into someone. You just need to be very aware of your surroundings whenever you ride. Number 3, despite your best efforts, sometimes you will meet with an unfortunate event. And when I say rule number 3, I actually mean ride responsibly, okay? In the unfortunate event that if you should hit someone, please render help. Don't bloody run away, If you expect the same, right? If a car rams into you, someone obviously needs to be responsible. You obviously want to be rendered assistance if you get knocked into by another vehicle, or in this case, it could be like, you could be, you could be lying on the road, and then, if someone doesn't take responsibility, you might just, lose your life. That is the reality of the situation. So number 3, always be responsible. And it works both ways. Don't run off. Please don't run off, okay? And number 4, always look out for pedestrians, okay? Pedestrians. Slow down if you see them. Dismount if you have to. And when I say dismount, I actually mean getting off your PMD and pushing it. You have no other choice. You slow down, too many people, you get off. Straightforward, common sense. So these are my 4 rules that I live by. But again, those have been, and it continues to be, the rules that I abide to. But I am attaching to the link below to the Mobility Act. It's 83 pages long, covers both users as well as retailers. The Act specifically states that amendments will be made from time to time, and so be sure to stay informed. That's the link that I have. The links might change. I'm not sure, but as of today, which is the 7th of July 2017, that is the Mobility Act in Singapore. And so my message begins. It's not a rant, it is a message, and it's a very straightforward message to all the PMD users out there. Stop putting PMD users in the wrong light, please. It is our duty to change the public mindset, especially about personal mobility devices in general. And this video is my little contribution in that direction. I just hope that, with this message, that people out there, will actually be more aware that we really need to do something. If we feel so strongly about, a personal mobility device and how useful it is, why are you trying to jeopardize everything? Why are you trying to make it so difficult? The government is really trying to embrace the situation, but I don't think we're going to be making it any easier. We're going to be extremely irresponsible and not care about what could be the repercussions or circumstances that could arise as a result of your actions. So I think it really is a two-way approach. All right, but the thing is, again, sadly, many PM users, they just don't have any common sense, and that's the truth. And what's worse, a total disregard of what is right or wrong with regards to traffic safety. And they are the ones who need to be dealt with severely. And the person watching this, you could be one of those that are guilty of of flouting these very same rules that the government has put in place. So anyway, while it's upsetting and disappointing to see accidents regarding PMD users and how really no one wins at the end of the day when an accident happens, PMDs are here to stay. Personal mobility devices are here to stay, and it's gonna explode exponentially over the next couple of years. The government sees it. Retailers are bringing in all sorts of brands from all over the world. I just don't see how this is just a trickle. It's not going to be a trickle. We're going to see a lot of different kinds of personal mobility devices here in Singapore, and it's true. Why not? As more people adopt to this new form of commute, firstly, it reduces your carbon footprint. It's cheaper. It's more convenient. The pros far outweighs the cons. We all know that. But there will be idiots, could be you too that I'm talking about, and there will be idiots who's gonna spoil this for all of us. The ones who ride recklessly and dangerously, and really this message is again for you. So please, do us all a favor and take responsibility for yourself today and everyone else around you. Don't be selfish, use common sense. The Mobility Act was drafted specifically for people like yourselves, myself included, who could potentially flout the rules when, with absolute disregard again to pedestrians and vehicles. I repeat, and I'm gonna end pretty soon, rant's gonna stop, message gonna stop. I repeat, we are responsible for ourselves, you are responsible for yourself. You may die as a result of your action, but please don't make someone else live with that guilt, or vice versa. And that pretty much sums up what I have to say for today. And I really hope that we will all be we can all look forward to an environment where we can all kind of coexist, as long as there's respect for everyone else on the road. I believe that it is possible, and I know for sure that the government is definitely trying. The Mobility Act, 83 pages long. If you scroll right to the end, there's some terms I don't understand. Maybe because it's just too, the way it's drafted and all the legal terms, it's probably need some help. We go through this with a friend who's a lawyer. But I can tell that it's 83 pages long. It specifically states that the Mobility Act could be and can be or will be amended to from time to time. So there are lots more to be done. And I think it's a step in the right direction. We're in a small country. PMDs are there to help us commute a lot easier, so that we don't get too dependent on the car. The rising cost of ownership is just it just keeps going up. It's getting more expensive, and if you can ride responsibly, I think we are all doing ourselves a favor. We embrace the culture, and we have mutual respect, and we can all have a good time. And that's pretty much what I have to say today. On a more lighter note, I will be doing another update on the Duotron Ultra. It's so rock solid. And anyway, until the next video, please subscribe if you find this useful, and please ride safe, and I'll see you soon.